Modal verbs. Modal verbs are auxiliary or helping verbs that express the mode of action of the main verb. Modal verbs show ability, possibility, permission, necessity, certainty, advice, obligation, and habit. The modal verbs are can, could, may, might, must, will, would, shall, and should. Can, could, may, might, must, will, would, shall, should. There are rules for modal verbs. First, modal verbs do not change. They don't change tense or change to match the subject. We don't add s, ed, or ing to a modal verb. For instance, we don't say coulded or coulds, mighted or mighting. We keep them the way they are. Don't use to after a modal verb except the semi-modal verbs. We'll get into those later. So we don't say might to or would to. 3, to make a negative form, use not after the verb. You can make a contraction. We could say might not or mightn't or must not, mustn't. Uses of modal verbs. We use modals to show levels of probability. Modals can show that there is a certainty, a probability, a possibility, or an impossibility. The dance may be postponed next week. That's showing that there's a possibility the dance may be postponed. It might snow tonight, so we might not have school tomorrow. They're showing probability also. He could bake a cake if he had the ingredients. That's showing a certainty. He could bake it if he had the ingredients. That can't be mine. My backpack is denim. That's showing a certainty also. Here we have more uses of modal verbs. We use the modals can and could to show a skill or ability. He can run the 100 meter faster than anyone. She could beat the fastest horse in the event. That's showing her ability. He can't make it on time. That shows he's not going to be able to make it. She couldn't stay for the finale. That also shows ability. More uses of modal verbs. We use the modals should and must to give advice, make a suggestion, show obligation, or expectation. You really should be more careful. That's giving advice or making a suggestion. He should be back around 10 o'clock. That's showing an expectation. She must get her homework done if she wants to go. That's showing an obligation. He must have come in the back door. That's showing an expectation as well. We use the modals may, can, could, will, and would to ask and give permission or make a request. You can have the last piece of candy. That's giving permission. May I go with my friends to the dance? That's asking permission or a request. Could you please help me with this? That's another request. Will you go with me to the dance? That's a request as well. Would you like to have some tea? That's another request. We have 2 more ways that modal verbs are used. We use the modals will and shall to express a promise or intention. I will send you my phone number. It's promising to do something. I shall enjoy that very much. I have the intention to enjoy that. To talk about habits, things we usually do, or things we did in the past, we use will and would. She will always take the bus if she can. He would eat hot dogs every day if he could.